I'm Joe Jaquin, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group. Our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. The website at allamericangold.com. And welcome to everybody. Happy Thursday at the half hour. Eric will be joining us. We're working on this whole new thing that we're doing. For those of you that don't know, I'm actually on, this is hour number 2 for me. So if you want to hear hour number 1 and you're not in Colorado, 1360khnc.com. I'm on the air from 8 to 9 Arizona time, 9 to 10 Colorado time, and it's kind of a little mix between Patriot Trading Group and 1360 KHNC. And then Eric and I are going to work together on this hour. A lot of you want at least some more of that hard economic data. We're going to deliver that in the first half hour. And then the second half hour, who knows, right? It's Eric. We'll never know where we're going to be heading. So many things to talk about. The Dow down big right now, about 250 points. Gold's down 10. I'll tell you all about it. You know, we had a Fed meeting yesterday. Somebody needs to cancel these press conferences. Jay Powell just can't handle them. The statement came out first. And remember, and I know for a lot of you, you don't know because you don't want to know, and I don't blame you. But the Federal Reserve meets 8 times a year. Up until January of this year, only 4 meetings had a press conference. And so they got into this routine, and this tells you how manipulated everything really is. That the Fed would only move, right, raise rates or lower rates on a press conference, right? And again, anybody that believes that you can manage a $20 trillion economy, really it's a global economy now, right? So I don't even know what the economy, 50, 60, 70 trillion dollars by having a meeting, 8 times a year and raising rates or lowering rates a quarter of a point, and you can manage. Come on. You can't manage that way. You know that. Don't be naive. Well, in January, they decided, because, things are getting difficult. And I know a lot of you out there, we got record highs and everything's great. GDP, Trump. The meetings now have a press conference after every one of them. The reason is simple. They know they need to react faster than before. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but pretty soon. Because they know, listen, these guys are so smart. They're geniuses. They are. You know what they're the best at? Robbing us. This interest rate thing is meant to rob you, just so you know. There's no inflation is meant to rob you. And you know what really gets me is now they've got everybody on the meeting. They're all bought off. Everybody's bought off. You can't turn on any single stock station. Can't turn, not one of them. And think about how many there are now. Just on DirecTV alone, there's 4 of them. 353, 355, 357, 359. Without them telling you you're making more money, GDP is great, jobs are everywhere. Are they? Here, there's a lot of jobs in Phoenix. I think there's a lot of jobs in Denver, some of the big cities. Yeah, there's lots of jobs. But for how much longer, that really, really is the question. And we got so much economic data to go through today. We had the CEO of Citigroup telling everybody, hey, it's not my problem. I make $486 for every dollar my average employee makes. They don't work hard enough. Because that's how I got here, hard work. Hey, I'm just telling you what he said. Before the break, and I know, like I said, for Phoenix and the rest, I'm on, and this is hour number 2 for me. Before the break, we were talking about McDonald's. And McDonald's, they're a bellwether. And, of course, Dow's down 250, like I said. They came out, and this has been a microcosm of all the earnings you've heard for the first quarter. The first quarter has been one giant snow job. Sorry, it just has been. Even they admit, hey, that 3.2% GDP number, we're not going to brag too much about it because there's a lot of sand in that number. But they're trying to say, hey, earnings have been real good. Did you see Apple's earnings? Right? They tried to act like Apple, yeah, they're getting into that service thing. iPhone sales down $7 billion. Their service thing was only up $1 billion. Do math. It's not very good. McDonald's today said same-store sales globally up 5.4%. Sales were up in the U.S. too, or were they? We got that and so much more. Don't touch that dial. 800-951-0592. I got so many things to go to. I'm going to try to go as quick as I can. So we're talking about McDonald's. They came out with earnings today. And again, right, they're trying to say, oh, they're not that bad. We're going to have negative, just so you know, for the first quarter, negative profit margin growth. Profits are going to be negative. Not a lot. -1, maybe -2%. And they're trying to, but that's better than we thought it was going to be. Of course, negative isn't growth. But they never did talk about revenues. Right? You see Apple's revenues way down. But yeah, hey, it's great. McDonald's, the headline, global sales up 5.4%. But it got better. U.S. same-store sales up 4.5%. I'm like, wow. Maybe I'm wrong, right? McDonald's obviously is doing well. But then they threw in this line, which, again, we need generally accepted accounting practices to be used, but they're never going to use them. Actual revenue, now they said global same-store sales up 5.4%. U.S. same-store sales up 4.5%. But then they said actual revenues fell 3.5%. And I'm like, I don't think that's possible. Is it? How can you have these great same-store sales, but revenues actually, I mean, the only way I know is you had to close a lot of locations. Right? And why would you close locations? Well, because sales aren't so good. Matter of fact, in the U.S., customer counts were down. They said McDonald's made it up with much higher pricing and a better mix of products. Okay. Again, this is what you're seeing everywhere. Every one of these companies, it's the same. Revenue's down, profits are down, prices are up. And oh, by the way, we beat expectations, right, which were cut down to nothing in December. They're trying to convince us that things are – you know what? Here's what I don't like. Don't make things better than what they are. Let's just have them be what they are so we can do something about it. But they need you to believe that it's better. Because this is what they now think. Hey, if we just keep saying it's better, they'll eventually believe it. auto sales came out today. Now, I don't believe this. They told us, and who's they? Larry Kudlow, Hazard, or I forget the guy's name. One of the Trump guys. When they were trying to explain the 3.2% GDP number that they came up with last week. And remember, I told you right here, fake news. We grew 3.2% on paper. We didn't really actually grow that fast. And to be fair, I still think we grew almost 2%, somewhere around 2%. I don't know if it was quite 2, kind of like the inflation number, right? We kind of grew about that number. And yet another dismal month for auto sales. The reason a lot of people said that GDP number was so big was because automakers have been building a ton of cars. And part of why they said, hey, let's not get too excited because, eventually they're going to lay a bunch of people off. Dismal month for U.S. auto sales in April, continuing a recessionary trend. Everything's great, I thought. Got to remember, too, mortgages, home sales, mortgages, and refinance, all that, housing, let's just put housing in autos is the biggest part of GDP, period. A trend that has been in place not only in the U.S., but globally for the past 12 months. And certainly since the beginning of 2019. U.S. auto sales in April fell 6.1%. And I'm going to tell you right now, that is the worst number going back 2011 and maybe 10 years. I guess I didn't need to read. The worst number, the worst drop since May of 2011. Just 16.4 million units now. That's the lowest level since 2014, right? You get the idea. Says that auto sales continuing to trend even weaker. The average cost of a new vehicle, even though the Federal Reserve is telling you that auto prices adjusted for inflation are falling. Yeah. They've said that now since 2017, just so you know. The average price of a new car hit a new all-time record high, though. Right? Square that up. What was the number? 36,000 and change now. Wow, almost 37. $36,720. And down across, Ford down 4.7. Chrysler down 6.1, and on and on and on. Honda down, Toyota down, everybody down. That was an April number. And then Challenger, Gray, and Christmas. Remember those guys? Challenger, Gray, and Christmas. They're the ones that track the layoffs. So today we had jobless claims. And that's, of course, jobless claims is a number that I've been telling you. Hey, it doesn't mean what it used to. But jobless claims are actually elevated. 230,000 again. Same thing, they had 230,000 last week. It was funny. 4 weeks ago, they said jobless claims were below 200. Here's what's really interesting. Because like I told you, that number doesn't even mean anything anymore. So many people now, about 57 million people work jobs where they can't file unemployment. And there's only 157 million people working. So, a third of the people can't even file anymore. That never used to be that way. This is a new phenomenon. This is a phenomenon really in the last 15 years. Challenger, Gray, and Christmas, however, they track planned layoffs. And I said this in the first hour. For those of you that don't know, when you lay off more than 50 people, you've got to tell the government. You got to tell the state government so they can be ready at the unemployment office the following week or month. And, you do these layoffs ahead of time. You announce them like, hey, I'm telling you in April, but in May or June, you're going to get 50, 100, 300, 600, 1,000 workers from my company alone. So this is essentially what I call Wall Street layoffs. Because let's face it, most of us out there, we don't even have 50 employees. So you got to be a big company. And a lot of those big companies are they're publicly traded. They said that U.S. companies planned 40,000 layoffs in April. They said that for the first 4 months of 2019, planned layoff announcements, 230,433 jobs. And so these are full-time workers. 31% higher than a year ago. Not 3%, 31%. Is that growing? By the way, the Labor Department today, remember how much your wages are growing. Can't turn on the idiot box without hearing about it. They said, according to them, because they came out with productivity report today, real labor costs fell 0.9% in Q1. Just saying. Challenger, Gray, and Christmas says planned layoff announcements are up 31% for the first 4 months of 2019. And then you sit there and you start, and I know you're scratching your head. You're thinking, man, what's going on? Double, none of these numbers jive. Wall Street was hitting all-time highs up until today. Well, I guess yesterday. They all fell yesterday, too, after the Fed. The 3.2% GDP growth. These numbers don't fit that. I know. I don't get it either. How about this number? Remember, gold's down. Right? They've been taking gold out to the woodshed and kicking its backside. And gold's down $10 right now. Well, a little less on Kitco because it fell a little yesterday. But gold's at $1,273. Nobody wants it, you'd think. Terrible investment. Is it? According to the World Gold Council, and just so you know, I know the name sounds like they're gold bug people. No. This is the Wall Street gold people. They hate gold at the World Gold Council. First quarter global trends said that worldwide gold demand increased to 1,053 metric tons in the first 3 months of the year. By the way, that's up 7% from 2018. So let me get this right. Layoff announcements in the U.S. are up 31%. Car sales just had the worst month in, 8 years. Home sales, let's face it, at best are struggling. Gold demand's up 7% year over year, and the Dow's at record highs and gold's falling. 800-951-0592. Investment demand, it was higher, 300 metric tons. A 49% year-over-year increase in gold-backed exchange-traded funds. 49%. Yeah, that's all the guys on Wall Street telling you to buy your stocks. I can't make it up. I'm not making it up. They're telling you to buy stocks, and they're out there buying gold. When you look at the numbers, here's how it breaks down. 258 metric tons in bar and coins. Gold-backed ETFs, 40 metric tons. India, 33.6 metric tons. China, 71.2 metric tons. I mean, you get the idea. It's time. Yesterday, all last week, really, for about the last week, I was running those $20 Liberties and Saints. Remember, $13.50 and the last day and all that. Those are now $13.75. But I got offered an item this morning you're going to want to jump on. I'm going to hit that item when we return. Patriot Radio News Hour. Don't touch that dial.
This is the Phyllis Schlafly Report, a daily commentary continuing the conservative pro-family legacy of Phyllis Schlafly. Now, the president of Phyllis Schlafly Eagles, Ed Martin.
Too many Democrats are resorting to stealth tactics in their campaigns to get into office before they try to take away our guns. Yet no matter how sneaky they try to be, the one defense they cannot get around is our United States Constitution. As long as the Second Amendment is defended, Democrats cannot carry out the mass confiscation schemes they really want. However, some anti-gun Democrats have begun trying an especially dirty trick to get conservatives to hand over guns without even knowing it. The trick is to call a constitutional convention under Article 5 of the U.S. Constitution, where delegates could support an amendment to repeal the Second Amendment entirely. In Australia and Great Britain, massacres enabled gun control forces to push through tight new restrictions on guns. Their entire political culture of both nations shifted to the left as voters became less self-reliant and more dependent on government and its restrictions. Longtime U.S. Supreme Court Justice Joseph Story explained that the Second Amendment, quote, offers a strong moral check against the usurpation and arbitrary power of rulers, and will generally, even if those rulers are successful in the first instance, enable the people to resist and triumph over them, end quote. Rather than thinking about using firearms to provide a necessary moral check against government, New Zealand is turning its sights on Facebook, Google, and Twitter for how they provided an open channel for the mass murderer to live stream his killings. Internet users copied and reposted the hideous videos many times before those companies could even take them down. As three of the most liberal corporations in America, these Silicon Valley behemoths were slow to react to the New Zealand live streaming. One reason for this may be that they devote much of their resources to censoring legitimate political speech, especially from the conservative side. Multiple killings have been done by others who touted their evil deeds on Facebook. Yet there are no calls to ban Facebook the way liberals demand gun control. We need to recognize the real enemies of freedom, like a constitutional convention that would get rid of our Second Amendment, and those tech giants who care more about taking away First Amendment rights than stopping these horrible killing videos.
This has been the Phyllis Schlafly Report with Ed Martin, president of Phyllis Schlafly Eagles. It's time to hear the truth, not the media lies, about gun rights. At phyllisschlafly.com, we've got strategies to protect American citizens, protect ourselves, and protect the Second Amendment. For the latest on the constitutionally protected right to bear arms, go to phyllisschlafly.com. Thanks for listening, and join us again for the Phyllis Schlafly Report.
Welcome back, 800-951-0592. I know you're confused. I'm confused. Everybody's confused. Jay Powell's definitely confused. Donald Trump says we got to cut rates by 1% and bring QE back. The data from today sure kind of looks like that, doesn't it? Talking about the World Gold Council, despite U.S. stock markets generating their strongest quarterly returns in 10 years. Investment demand continuing to pile into the gold markets. I know they would never tell you to everything was wonderful and then be preparing for the collapse. Right? You know, they tell you, right? Yeah. So you know what's up. You need to be ready. And not really, quite honestly, not for what's going to happen tomorrow. And not what's going to happen at the end of this year. Or 2020. Maybe 2021, though, because things get really ugly then. Right? And we're on this whole thing about everything. Debt. Right? The only good thing, the only time the Democrats have stopped saying impeach Trump and collusion and Mueller was to say, hey, we agree with the president to spend another $2 trillion. So we were running our libs and our saints, and it was a really great deal. And they were $1,350. And remember, I told you the other day, hey, listen, they're going to be $1,385. And today they're actually $1,375 because gold's down $10, so they're $1,375. This morning, as we do, and you guys know the story, we work hard to find great products for you. Today I've got 200. First of all, I never get 200. Got 200 AU $20 liberties. You know, you've seen the coins. If you've ever done business with us, you know we deal in great-looking material. I mean, it's not all worn out. It's not worn flat. All the dates are clearly legible and really good stuff. But these are AUs. These are almost uncirculated. Right? These got a lot less of the coin marks and the scratches and all that stuff than the coins that we normally sell. These were, probably got bounced around in the back of a Wells Fargo carriage somewhere, and somebody who got it put it under their mattress or in their sock drawer, and when they probably got put on a boat, right, went over to Europe, and that person tucked it away. These things are in fantastic shape. A lot of great dates, too. So it's not just 1904s and 1907s like most of the other people. They're $1,350 today. Yeah, so today I'm going to give you a better product. I don't know, better condition, the AU $20 liberties. They're $1,350 at 800-951-0592. On the silver side, dude, maybe Silver Eagle time. U.S. Silver Eagles, this is the cheapest they've been all year. $365 a roll on the U.S. Silver Eagle. So we got a great gold item, a great silver item. Both of those items are on our website as well. So just in case you think we're like these other guys, like the guys on TV, and we're going to bait and switch it, we're not. You can go to allamericangold.com, click on the shopping icon, the shopping button. Take you to our shopping cart. We got the AU $20 liberties right there on the front page at $1,350. U.S. Silver Eagles, they're $365. At 800-951-0592. Listen, I know they're telling you gold's horrible and stocks are great. That's what they said. The World Gold Council is saying, hey, well, they're telling you that? Yeah, they're loading up on gold. Gold demand up 7%. Where was it all? Oh, yeah, investment demand. You got it. 800-951-0592. AU, $20 liberties at $1,350. By the way, today, if you're waiting for those MS63 $20 libs, those are all going out today. Anybody waiting on AU $5 libs going out today. Big shipping days here and in Colorado. And not to mention a great buying opportunity. I'm so excited because, first of all, you never get 200 of anything ever anymore. Back when Eric first started, even when I first started with Eric, having 100 or 200, we wouldn't even call. We'd never even call the wholesaler. We just assumed it's got hundreds of them. Now we got to call and ask them. 280 what Jay Powell had to say yesterday. And you know what the funny thing was? He really didn't say anything. He said, we're going to keep everything the way it is. We're going to be patient. And he did say there was no inflation. So maybe that's what got everybody all upset. The Dow is down 200. Yeah, about 200 points right now, 26,245. S&P, NASDAQ, lower. Gold's down 10. Crude oil, boy, that's down over $2. Apparently, the United States, we had to build 10 million barrels of crude oil. I believe this last week we set a new record in the world for oil production in a single week. Right here on the U.S., the good old USA. Energy independence could be ours. Oil down $2, $61.45. When we return, Eric's just walked in, saved my voice a little bit. Who knows where we're going? I'm so excited. I never know what he's going to say next. And remember, all of you not in Colorado, this is hour 2 for me. So if you want to listen to hour 1, 1360khnc.com. You can listen there. And then, of course, Eric's on for the next 20 minutes. And then he'll be on in Colorado for 2 more hours. So 1360khnc.com. Patriot Trading Group, Patriot Radio News Hour, 800-951-0592. That is the toll-free number. AU $20 gold pieces, $13.50. We'll be back right after the break.
Hey, welcome back, Patriot Radio News Hour. Yes, the voice has changed. I'm Eric Cedarstrom. Joe is taking orders right now from all you wonderful people calling in. You only got a couple people here. It's a small company, small organization, so he's on the phone right now. And, of course, where Joe was, I've taken a chicken and I've set it where he is, okay? So imagine Joe's microphone with a chicken, which is the same thing that they did for Attorney General Barr. Did you see that today? I think it might still be going on now. He did a no-show, which I don't blame him. I mean, Lindsey Graham said it all. Is there any collusion? Nope. President lied? Nope. The deal's dead. This is all done. It's dead. It's over. Well, it's over everywhere except talk radio and in the Democrats' eyes. So this will continue to run, this debacle. Who knows where it'll go? The rabid, and I mean, people have had it. You look, they did a survey that people, 58%. You know, who knows who they surveyed, but 58% want the government to change. Now, of course, 99% of them are ignorant, and they don't understand the Constitution, and the government was set up to have these checks and balances. But what we have today is, people that want to change everything. So, anyway, hang on. Joe, I've got a chicken in his spot where he's supposed to be. He doesn't probably know. He doesn't know what's going on. It's hard to keep track. I had the satellite on. Barr did a no-show today.
Oh, he didn't show up?
He did. Remember?
I don't blame him.
Remember when Clint Eastwood, what did he do? When he stood up and showed the empty chair, about, how bad leadership is in this country during Obama, the empty chair. Okay, now I did a show on it, and we had the empty chair here, was our employee.
That's right.
Which is called the government, okay, which we pay, who made exactly what you and I made every year.
It was a 3-way split.
Right, 3-way split. You, me, the government. Okay,
I remember that show.
Right, I did the empty chair. We put a mic in front of him, okay? He didn't say anything. This
guy didn't say a word.
He doesn't earn his money around here, So today look at this, they put a chicken where Barr was supposed to be. So
the Democrats.
The Democrats.
He was scared.
Because he's chicken. Yeah. And, of course, Lindsey Graham said, nope, that's it. Put it to bed. It's not over. They'll never let this drop. After he gets reelected, they'll still be fighting about it. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But let's get more, half of this show's up in Colorado. Half of it's on in Phoenix. How are you doing? This is the Patriot Radio News Hour, 1-800-951-0592. If you want to take advantage of one of the wonderful specials and help support this company, if you listen on the air, you need to do business with them. If you find this show enlightening, entertaining, or at least somewhat that you can glean some knowledge from every now and then, which you do. Well, this show's knowledge packed. Okay, here's a story out of the Arizona Republic. Migrant families at the border now are to face DNA tests from ICE. So now bear with me on this one. Immigration's Customs Forces sending teams of investigators to Yuma and other border cities to screen for migrants using fraudulent birth certificates and other documents to create fake families to get into the United States. So now they're going to DNA test them so, they can't just grab and steal an 8-year-old kid on your way up, okay, and go, this is my son. You have to do DNA testing. Now, this is all fine and dandy, but how long has spring break been going on down in Mexico?
A long time.
Okay? Unwittingly, if they do this and build a DNA base in Mexico and hook it up with 23andMe, there's going to be a lot of Americans down there.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to have a lot more kids than the one that just graduated.
Explaining to do, and, if your son, didn't quite look like you.
Bill Clinton? What?
Believe it or not.
You're a Clinton.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows how many Americans are actually down there? It's been going on a long time. You can't tell me there's not a lot of them.
You think we're at that point now where every kid born at the hospital, they take some blood and
everything's going to be a
database somewhere.
So, and it's huge. The ramifications are huge from taking strains of families' DNA and finding out what their lineage and their life expectancy is and what their propensity to diseases are and how many of them robbed banks and were criminals, I mean, you don't understand that all this is going to go into a master computer. It already is. If I would never send my DNA in, but I have family members that have sent it into these, Ancestry and 23andMe, and it's amazing what comes back.
You don't even have to do it. If your relative does it, they can find you. Oh, you know what? You're a match, and you committed this crime 30 years ago. Go get them.
Right. That's a thing. But now they have the DNA, and let's say say just you anger somebody on the radio. We can install some DNA in a crime scene, and you're done. So it is indefensible. You're like, but honest, I was on the air. That was a tape. How did your DNA get down in Alabama? So
I've never been to Greenbow. You know the other thing, though, about this? It's not like that's free. What does that cost?
What's that?
To do these DNA tests.
Well, it's expensive, but, you find out you're part Asian,
Well, there's 1.5 million, maybe even 2 million of them coming. We got to do 2 million DNA.
Oh, to run them on there?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a great idea. Why not? Now we'll have a globalist DNA. You'll find out. What do they say? Everybody's like 3 people away from knowing everyone in the world. So we're actually going to find out.
I thought it was supposed to be 6 degrees of separation.
Maybe that's what it is. Now it's down to 3, The world's getting smaller. So anyway. Then, we still have a problem out here. Of illegals. Ever been to Mexico? You've been to Mexico.
Yeah.
It's dangerous down there. I mean, if you drive in Mexico, I went down. I haven't gone we used to go all the time. I haven't gone since 2005. I'm done. I'll never go back down there anymore. It's just like California anyway on the border. So, and everything costs the same as it does here. But, the cars just come. It's like it's like an episode of Top Gun. You're driving down the road. They go, Cedarstrom would engage, sir. So, anyway.
It's one of the few places, if you get in an accident, but your car can keep going. That's going. What they tell you.
Final segment. Bring us your huddled masses. Joe is one right now. We'll be back after these minutes. Hey, final segment. Patriot Radio News Hour will now transition to the Eric Cedarstrom experience. We roll over to 1360 KHNC. Just put it on your phone. Go to Google 13. That's all you need to do. 1360 KHNC. Bada boom, bada bing, yada, yada, yada. You're listening. Just that quick. So they've idiot-proofed the whole thing.
We really did.
Oh, yeah. I had trouble with it. I'm like,
it took us, I'm not going to lie to you. It took us a month to idiot-proof it, but we finally did it.
So you just do that, Put on your phone, Bluetooth it in. I'll be right there after the break. So anyway, we were talking. The front page of Arizona Republic The state aims to stem the flood of evictions. Now, where's this coming from? Now, all of a sudden, out of the blue, the president, it wants the Federal Reserve to lower interest rates. Okay?
By 1 point.
By 1 full basis point, right? Or interest. One full interest point.
One full
yeah,
interest
basis point is 100.
One full, yeah, that's like a 10.
Yeah, 10.
1 full point. Yesterday, the central bank, the Federal Reserve, they've been at this 2.4 number, between 2.25 and 2.50. It's now today down to 2.35 and heading lower. There's trouble brewing underneath all of the everything's wonderful story.
Well, they're terrified that the real estate markets could actually correct again. I mean, this doesn't make any sense either. But I think this shows you what's really happening, that behind the scenes, I mean, you look at the effects of the slowdown of last year, the last quarter. The car business, just the new car dealer, the numbers were horrific. Now you look at the real estate markets hit the brakes. So you have to know the labor markets hit the brakes. And I mean the people that are here that do all the work. And we all know who they are if you're listening in Phoenix. So now all of a sudden they're putting together a program designed to stop evictions now before they reach the courtroom. Apparently they've just got this rash of people that aren't paying their rent or their mortgages and are getting booted. So I find this quite alarming. Just, boom, out of nowhere. So it explains a lot, because we were trying to figure out why would Larry Kudlow want him to lower interest rates a
Everything's
point?
very confusing. All the economic data is confusing. All of the reports out of corporate America, like I did McDonald's today. Global sales up 5.4%. Same-store U.S. sales up 4.5%. Actual revenue down 3.5%.
And mortgage rates are dropping this morning as well again.
Are they dropping this morning?
They are. So then Stephen Moore, the new...
Oh, that just happened. Stephen Moore now, gone.
If you don't know who he is, he's the Trump nominee.
For the central bank. So that both nominees now, Stephen Moore, Herman Cain, have both now...
Do you have to go before
gone.
Congress?
Yes.
Okay. There's no way to go before Congress with these idiots and not get charged with perjury anymore. Nancy Pelosi said Barr lied. There's no way not to. Did you watch it? Did you go home and watch it? I watched some of it last night, Lori and I. And I mean, they just pick over the ridiculous details, and these questions go on forever. And you could say anything because there's no way to answer some of them, like, yes.
Is there a niner in there?
Your conceptual continuity of the conspicuousness of the events of September, were you actually at the time driving a car? I don't know. Yeah. Oh, we found out you weren't driving a car. You lied to Congress. You're going to prison for life.
28 years ago, you were not in that car. By the way, AU $20 Liberties, $13.50. Rolls of Silver Eagles at $3.65. 800-951-0592. Switch over to 1360khnc.com. We got 2 more hours to go.